Howdy y'all, I got the Bulldog on the channel. What we're working on today is an '08 Ford F-250, big old work truck, and came in with an MIL, and the customer said lacks power. You step on it, it just falls on its face. They ran the codes, they come up with these. So what he did is he put in the fuel rail pressure sensor new, and it didn't affect it. Well, I told him there's two other things that it can be on this thing. It has a fuel pump driver module and the fuel pump, one of the two. Since he's already done the rail sensor, and either one of them could be a possibility, but I'm leaning towards the driver module. Usually when those goes out on these trucks, it just dies. It's dead, and then there's nothing you can do. But occasionally you get them to where the fuel pump just will not raise its pressure. Instead of having a fuel pressure regulator like they used to, they have a driver module which undulates the voltage up and down, and that's how they regulate the pressure, by reducing voltage to the motor, which years ago, if you did that, you burned up the pump. But somehow that works now. I think I've only put one of these pumps in. I mean, they very rarely fail anymore. But I put several. Put several of these drivers in because on this truck, there it is. Who would think that something mounted out there in the environment like that might give trouble? Now, on the ones that are just a little bit older, this is an '08, the like '04, '05, '06, they had a bar going across about right here, a round tube, and they had it mounted there, and it would get road salt and junk and stuff underneath of it because the pipe that it was mounted on was round, and it'd pack it in underneath of it, and that stuff would get nasty and everything. And the aluminum back on that sensor, the junk would build up behind it, and it would start to rust on the metal, it would start to corrode on the aluminum, and it just spread out and break the module in half. Have not worked on one like this yet. This will be a first. But I can see back in there, it's still got the aluminum back. It's mounted against steel. I'm going to assume that they have the same trouble. Of course, this one has the EVAP canister and everything mounted right in the way. But at least the spare tire is gone. It's mounted on the roof. So we're going to do a little bit of investigation, diagnostic, and get back. Alright, we're in here. Got the data stream loaded up. Right there's the fuel pump rail pressure in PSI. I got it under load right now. I'm going to torque it up a little bit. It is not going up. So we'll see if there's any kind of response out of that module. Alright. Amazingly, I'm able to get my hand up in there enough to get it unhooked. Go up in here and you can reach over top of the plug-in and depress the deal, and I got my pry bar hooked across the corner here and just sitting there and wiggled. I got it slid off a little bit, and I just work the plug-in off. Got stuff behind it. It's a tight fit. There we go. And there's enough wire to get it out. All right, now I can see stuff. Get my 4 eyes here, 6 eyes, however many. Okay. I think this wire here is the power wire. And what we're going to do is eliminate the computer. We're going to take the power wire here and jump it to the power wire going to the pump, which should be right next to it, I think. I'm going to double check. I got a picture of it in my phone, so. But we're going to jump power to the power going to the pump, and then we're going to jump ground, which is this wire here, to the ground coming back from the pump. I'm assuming it's going to be these big wires. And that will run the pump at full pressure at all times. And then we'll see how it responds to being under a load. It should max the pressure out and hold it there. If it don't, then we got a bad fuel pump. If it does, then we got a bad module here. Either one is possible. On the real tips, a lot of them have been replacing the pump. Most of them replaced both because they don't know which one it is. So they'll just put both in, because why do one when you can do two at twice the money? Yeah. But this comes out of there and we can get 2 things pretty easy. That makes it a lot easier. When you're trying to work up in there, that kind of sucks. So I'll get these things jumped across, and he's going to drive it again, and we'll revisit. Very rarely do the gods smile upon me in such a way. Now we'll find out later if they actually did, or if they're just testing me and, you know, getting ready to drop me off a cliff. But these deals right here are perfect to just plug in and jump them things over. So we'll fire this thing up and see if the fuel pressure maxes out, and take it out and drive it and see if the fuel pressure drops. Just for reference, I'm going to show you what the fuel pressure did on the test drive the first time. Run along 40, stepped on it a little bit, dropped to 30, let out of it, cruised, and stepped on it hard, dropped down to 18. I'm going to run it around here real quick and see what it does this time. At idle right here, fuel pressure is running about 58, 57.2. Let's put a load on it, see what it does. All right, I took it out for a second test drive, and I tried to film it, but I get it. I guess I hit the button or something. You can see where it started out, and then I just stepped on it, and it just dropped like a rock, down 20 pounds. Let out of it, pressure went back up, got into it a little bit again, and whenever I'd get into it, it'd just start down nice and gradual. That one's a little bit of a dropout, but it bottomed out there about 20 pounds, 21 pounds. So minimum 21 pounds, maximum 67. So as soon as I let out of it, shot back up. So what I did back here, completely eliminated computer control, completely eliminated that fuel pump driver module. We got a bad fuel pump. So we'll get that looked up, get the customer called, get her going. Like, comment, subscribe, get your little bell notification, share it all around. We'll talk to you later.